to the war in Ukraine next, and President Zelensky has said 31,000 Ukrainian troops have been killed so far during the war with Russia, the first time in many months that the figure has been revealed. He said tens of thousands of civilians in the Russian-occupied territories had also died. Speaking at a news conference to mark Saturday's second anniversary of Russia's invasion, Mr. Zelensky said he couldn't reveal the number of people injured because that information would help Russia, but the loss was very painful. He was hopeful of a peace summit in the spring and was sure the US Congress would pass its aid package for Ukraine.
We cannot lose. What will mean if Ukraine loses? It means there will be no us in existence. Definitely this is not the end of our existence that we like. If Ukraine loses, if it becomes complicated, the number of victims, it will depend on you, on our partners, on the Western world. If we are strong with the weapons that we get, this or that, we won't lose the war. We will prevail.
President Zelensky, well, there's been Ukrainian criticism of Western support because some allies were failing to live up to their commitments they've made about weapons deliveries. There are reports of shortages of ammunition and other material, and Russian invaders advancing on parts of the long front line. Ukraine's Defence Minister Rustem Umerov said half of the promised assistance was arriving late and that every time that happened, Ukraine lost people and territories.
At the moment, commitment doesn't constitute delivery. 50% of commitments are not delivered on time. So which means that in the mathematics of war, we look to the enemy. Their economy is almost 2 trillion. They use up to 15% official and unofficial budget to the war, which constitutes over 150 billion US dollars. So annually, it's officially. So basically, whatever committed that doesn't come on time, we'll lose people, we'll lose territories.
Ukraine's defence minister, well, Yuri Sak, an advisor to Ukraine's strategic industries minister, agreed that delays in receiving Western support were costly.
Of course, we have always been, on the one hand, very grateful to our partners for the support that we're receiving, but at the same time, we have always stressed that the delays in the supply of ammunition, any delays in the supply of any weapon systems, results in higher casualties, higher rate of losses. So when we urge our partners to provide these weapons and ammunition faster, we're not criticizing them. We're just stipulating the fact. Time is weaponized by Russia, and we have to be conscious of that. This is why Ukraine has already started to produce our own ammunition. We are building up our own defense industry sector and defense industry base. But of course, we are still heavily reliant on the support of our Western partners. Time is of essence.
And how crucial will it be for the US billions that are currently tied up in the debate in the House of Representatives for you to have over the coming months?
On the one hand, we've always said that, if there is no support coming to Ukraine, of course, for us, it's a war of survival. So we will continue the fight with brooms and sticks if we have to. But as our president, Mr. Zelensky, said just today, he said that, will Ukrainians survive? Yes, we will, but not all of us. So that needs to be borne in mind. It's all about the cost that has to be paid, because we are committed to continuing to defend the values of free Europe and free world. We continue to fight this war. We're not asking our partners to send, their soldiers and their boots on the ground, but we are asking for weapons. We are asking for financial support because it's about our survival, and our survival, by extension, will impact the future of European countries and of the world at large.